Welcome, friends, to another fantastic night of gaming. We're continuing our expedition. During the last section, I forgot to draw 2 equipment and 2 consumables. I will have the Holy Knight equip Sultan's last legacy, and 2 consumables. Intermediate corridor. The room ahead shows faded grandeur, with carvings of the Jinn of Healing adorning the walls, its sacred sigils contrasting with the makeshift barricades and rusted spikes now cluttering the passage. At the center, a massive crossbow sits ready to be shot by a nearby Viper folk guard. At the far end, 2 parapets rise as great defensive positions, their aged stone showing the cracks of time. A pair of Viper folk stand upon them, holding mystical staffs, their sumptuous robes denoting their high status, yet unable to hide the darkened scales, signs of the disease festering within them. Villains are in tactical positions, granting them benefits that will be listed later. Crossbow shooter. If a villain starts its turn in the crossbow square, it will forego its attack and movement to shoot the crossbow. Villains in the parapet cannot move or be moved. All attacks against them have -1 of range. They can only be attacked by attacks with range 2 or higher. Villains on the parapet have a +4 range with their attacks and effects. Heroes can attack a parapet. Any attack that deals 10 damage or more destroys it. Upon destruction, this deals 15 damage to any hero or villain on any square in one of the parapet or on top of it. The round begins. 1 corruption, 3 action points, 4 new cards. Here is the setup. Here is the starting initiative. Fallen Viper will go first. His crossbow attack will hit Arydia for 10 damage, then push 3 the target. She takes 9 damage because she has an agility, which gives her 1 defense. 1, 2. The blue sorcerer will go. His attack is Poison Nova. However, they will not move, and with a range of 4 granted to them, they are unable to target any hero. Arydia spends 1 action point to play Crusader's Judgment. All your attacks cost extra 2 health, but deal +5 damage. She'll spend another action point to move 3. 1, 2, 3. And for her last action point, she will play Witch's Bolt. She will move 2. 1, 2, 2 corruption. Will cost her 2 health. With a defense of 1, she does score a critical. Every time she pays health, she gains equal amount of damage. 2, 3, 9, 14, 16, 20 damage. Brings it all the way down to 20 health. The Viper Sorcerer. Target all heroes in 8 with its extended range. Pull 3 the targets, they discard 1 card, and gain slowed. 1, 2, 3. The slowed condition reduces their movement by 2 total, not for each instance that they move. And they will lose 1 HP for each time they enter the spikes terrain. Amulet of Power. Arydia will go again. 3 action points and 4 new cards. Starting or ending your turn in spikes causes you to lose a health. She will spend 1 action point to play Pyre of Grimoires. She will move 4 and gain 1 corruption. She moves 2 because of slowed. 3 more than defense is a critical. She pays 2 from her aura. 2, 8, 13, 15, 19. Brings him down within 1 health. She will end her turn with 2 action points. Moving on to Tuskhan. He loses 1 health from the spikes. He will use the locket to remove 1 corruption down to 0 and remove the slowed condition. He spends 1 action point to play Go for the Throat. He will gain 1 corruption. Targeting the Fallen Viper Lord. Just barely passes defense. Now at 2 corruption, he is defeated, gain 1 power. Arydia gets a corruption blast, then he will move 3, 1, 2, spend an action point to interact with the crossbow. You move into the crossbow square. The mechanism is heavy, so aiming correctly is an arduous task. Make a Vigor 8 test. He has a Vigor of 4, just needs a 4. Success, deal 10 damage to a villain in 6, and push 3. Well, they say they can't be moved. The crossbow cannot be used again this turn. Keep the token on the map. He'll take 10 damage. Arydia will spend 1 of her action points. She will use Merciful Judgment. An enemy with 15 or less is within 2 of her, so they are defeated. Power is up to 2 now. Tuskhan will go again with the Amulet of Power. 3 new action points and cards. He will spend 1 action point to interact with the crossbow again, and succeeds in reducing him by 10. Tuskhan will spend 1 action point to play Heavy Strike. He will move 3, lose 2 health. 1, 2, 3. That's a critical, 2 souls and damage. 2 souls. 5, 6, 7, 9. That will defeat him and gain 1 power. He also gets a Soul Blast. And for his last action point, he will interact with the door. But first, we get 3 equipment cards. These are the 3 items. Can't use caster. The belt, you can, whenever you would apply a negative condition to an enemy, you may choose to apply another condition of your choice. Grants +10 health. Whenever an enemy you attacked dies, all other enemies and 2 take 10 damage. I'll put them in the party stash. Chamber of Cleansing. The door opens to a wide chamber where low stone benches face 4 shrines of weathered bluish stone. At the room's heart, however, looms a dark statue, a fierce figure with a menacing stance. Unlike the shrines, its polished surface is unscathed, its edges sharp, untouched by the passage of time. As your eyes adjust, a chill settles over you. This is no figure of hope or healing, but of Abaddon, the Lord of Hell himself. An unnatural cold clings to the air around it. Nearby, 4 viper folk lift their heads, rising from what seems like prayer. Their eyes fix on you, clearly angered by the interruption. Demonic aura. Heroes that start their turn inside this room gain 1 corruption. Here is the cleansing chamber. We've got Tuskhan alternating with the sorcerer, the Viper Fallen Lord, and Arydia. New round gives us new action points and corruption. 1 action point to play Master of the Hunt. He will move 5 and gain 2 corruption. 1, 2, 3, 5. Targeting this sorcerer with a defense of 1. That didn't work for me. 1 action point to interact with the statue. You approach the sinister statue, its large mouth open and dripping with fresh blood. A thin, corrupting mist seeps from between its fangs, and within, something metallic glints faintly, hinting at an object trapped inside. Obviously, climb the statue and try to grab and pull what is inside. The heavy statue is firmly anchored, making the climb easy. You grip its head, steady yourself, and reach into the open mouth to retrieve the object. Suddenly, a sharp pain lances through your arm as the stone teeth clamp down, biting deep into your flesh. You take 4 damage and +1 corruption, then you must make a power 11 test. He does have a +1 power. You can get the object from inside, gain a purifying relic, end the demonic aura trait in the public room. Last action point to lose 2 corruption and 3 health as he does penance. The sorcerer goes next. He doesn't move. He'll give 2 corruption and 2 damage. Range of 6. Target a hero and all other heroes in one of it. The targets discard 1 card. Blocks 1. Gains it right back. Tuskhan's turn again. 1 action point to play Tornado Strike. Deal 2 to all enemies in 2. That's all of them. Second action point, basic movement of 3, 2, and for the third action point, cleave. He will target the Fallen Viper and the Sorcerer for 8 damage. 2 hits, a damage, and corruption. Corruption, 1, 9, 10. Half of that is 5 damage. Then he'll use his movement, 2, 4. This Sorcerer is next, attacking Tuskhan. Target 3, all heroes in 2, and gain poisoned. 1. Takes all the damage and gains poisoned. Time for the Fallen Viper Lord. No attack. He increases his health and all damage it does by 15. Keep this card to mark the effect. He now has 48 health. She's going to spend 2 soul in order to activate her Aura of Protection, which grants heroes within 2 an extra defense die. For 1 action point, she will play Blade of Light to move 4 and then heal 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. She's targeting the Sorcerer there. 1, 2, 4 damage. For her second action point, Merciful Judgment. An enemy with 15 or less and in 2 of you is defeated. The Sorcerer is defeated. Gain 1 power. She gains a Soul Blast. If you have Quest Card 2, it's hard to create a cure. You find a green satchel of herbs with one of the defeated Viper Sorcerers. And she will spend the power here in order to get 4 soul and -1 corruption. He will take the bottom option, which is lose 2 and gain 2. And her last action point to move 3. 1, 2. It's her turn to go again. 1 action point to interact with the pillar. -2 corruption. Second action point, Crusader's Judgment. All your attacks cost an extra 2 health to use, but deal +5 damage. And the last action point, Pyre of Grimoires. She will move 4 and then gain 1 corruption. 2, 4. Costs her 2 health. Gains a soul. 1, 7, 12, 14. That will defeat him. She gains 2 power, 1 for eliminating him, and because she used an opposing alignment attack, and she gets another Soul Blast. It's a new round. Tuskhan will spend this to lose 1 corruption and remove the poison condition on him. He's down to 7. First action point, Claws of the Hunter. 1 corruption, back to 8, and gain 2 red dice this turn. Second action point, Slam and Charge. He will move 4 first before attacking, then pushing. 2, 4. He gains 2 soul. 2, 3, 6, 9, 10, 12. And +1 for flanking. Pushed 1, 2, then run 4, 1, 2, and takes an additional 2 damage. Then the last action point, Chasing Pack. Gain 1 corruption, he's at 9. Then heroes will run 5 to an enemy, and that enemy takes 4 per hero that ended in 1 of it. 1, 8 damage. Tuskhan's Amulet of Power. 1 action point to lose 2 corruption and 3 health, down to 42. Second action point to move 2, 3. Last action point, Feast of Flesh. Gain 1 corruption, he's at 8, and the target you are flanking gains vulnerable and transfer 4 health from it to you. Vulnerable means he takes 2 extra damage during attacks. It's the Viper Lord's turn. Another no attack. He gains 15 more health, and now his damage is going to be crippling. With 4 consecutive hero turns, though, I think we should be able to eliminate him. Arydia spends 1 action point to play Crackling Lighting. Gains 1 corruption, up to 6. 2 health for her aura. So 2, 12, 17, 19, it was a critical, 23, plus vulnerable, 25. Half of that is 13. Second action point to move, 2. Last action point to rub the genie lamp. 1 item and 1 consumable. Gain 3 movement points, but they're already carrying the max, so I have to discard it. Picks up a Knight Guardian armor. I'll equip that and get an extra die to roll and 2 more vigor. The new armor increases his vigor and his max HP. That grants him an additional 5 health. Arydia's Amulet of Power. She will spend an action point to play Divine Retribution, minus 4 health. She's going to move and deal 12 damage possibly because she will have less health. With her aura, she loses 6. Moves 1, gains a corruption, paid for 6 health, that's 6 damage, 12 there, 18, 23, 25, 29 because it was critical. That obliterates the Fallen Viper Lord. 2 power is gained because it was the opposite alignment. They each get Corruption Blast. He is at 9, she is at 8, and the last part of her attack gives her 1 soul, so she's at 8. She spends an action point to open the door. Before I forget, I do get the rewards of clearing out the room, which is 2 consumables and 3 equipment. I'm going to keep the healing potion, and I've got 3 items. I'm going to give the Holy Knight Captain's Scale Mail so I can increase my spirit by 2. The rest will go in party stash. A stench of rot fills the air as you open the door, the foul odor of putrid meat mingling with a sour tang of spilled liquid. Insects scatter across the floor, darting between rotten scraps and overturned tables. Broken barrels lie in pools of dried, rancid fluid, and at the far end, a crude altar leans against the wall. 5 bodies lie across the room, a malnourished viperfolk, its scales faded and brittle, and 3 figures wrapped in dirty linen, their skin dried and stretched tight as if drained of all moisture. 1 corpse of a fat viperfolk man, bloated and decayed, shifts, its swollen abdomen pulsing with something desperate to claw its way out. As you take a step, 2 of the dried corpses twitch, then begin to move, their limbs cracking unnaturally as they rise. The bodies on the ground count as targets for any damage that affects an area. If a body takes any damage, it is destroyed. Remove it from the grid. Here is the food hall. Now, it is important to note, I missed this earlier in the dungeon, but there's these tiny circles. These are rubble, so it takes an extra movement point to move through that. But I'll be mindful to take care of it now. And that stacks with the movement to get away from an enemy. You cannot enter a space if you don't have enough movement spaces. We have Tuskhan, the Cursed Mummy, Arydia, Cursed Mummy, then their Amulets of Power. New round, he's at his max. If you were to gain 1 more, then this would become a tainted action point. And every time you use a tainted action point, you gain 1 corruption. The faster you gain tainted action points, the more spiraling you are to losing control over the demon. Tuskhan will spend 1 action to move 3. 1, 2, 3. His second action point, Trumpeting Warlord. All targets you hit on your turn take +1 damage and must attack you on their next turn if possible. And his last action point, Cleave. He will move first, then target 3 enemies dealing 8. 2, 4. He gains 2 souls, aura, +1 attack, 9, 10, 12. Half of that is 6 damage. The Purple Mummy, Ancient Sandstorm. He won't move, 1 corruption and 8 damage. Target all 3 heroes. Until this villain's next turn, all heroes can only target combatants in one of them. This ends if the villain dies. 2 perfect defense completely nullifies the attack. Arydia's turn, she spends 1 action point to move 3. 1, 3. Second action point, to play Shield of Protection. She will move 2, lose 3 health, and gain a Toughen and Aura of Protection. 1. Defense of 1, that is a critical. 3, 5, 6, 8, 12. Gains Aura of Protection. She will use the Healing Potion to heal 8, and the Regeneration Oil to gain Invigorated. This allows her to heal 2 at the end of every round, and to reduce the incoming damage by 2 of every attack. Last action point to reduce corruption by 2 and health by 3. It's the end of her turn. She'll heal 2, so a net loss of 1. The Red Cursed Mummy. Place a random desert scarab in one of this villain, if possible. Its card is placed at the end of the initiative, then the mummy loses 10 health. Our desert scarab friend joins the party. Tuskhan will go first for the Amulet of Power. He'll spend 1 action point to lose 2 corruption and 3 health. He's at 48. Spends his second action point to play Bloody Savagery. He's going to gain 1 soul, and he's going to lose 7 health to deal twice that on the next attack. He's now at 10 souls. He spends his last action point to play Draining Bite. He's going to gain 1 corruption. He's at 9, and he is flanking the Purple Mummy, so he will heal 4, up to 52. The soul will just increase his health by 1, so he's at 53, dealing 1 from the aura, 1 from flank, 6, 20, 21, 22, 24. That turns the mummy into dust. They will each get a soul blast, and with the power at 5, I will spend it now. They will both use the bottom, -4 corruption, and gain 2 souls. She's ready to go. 2 more health for him. He's up to 55. Arydia's Amulet of Power spends 1 action point to play Crackling Lighting. She goes to 5 corruption, and she's going to move 4 to attack a line. 1, 2, 4. 10, 11, 13. Rounded up is 7. Her second action point, play Merciful Judgment. The Desert Scarab has less than 15 health, so he will be defeated. Power goes up to 1. Tuskhan will get a Soul Blast, which is just a health for him. He's at 56. Last action point, interact with the statue. An altar stands before you, its surface marked by faded sigils of the Djinn of Healing. Dirt and grime cover the stone, and it is tucked away in a shadowed corner of the room, as if deliberately concealed. Deep scratches on the floor around it suggest it was dragged here, likely the very altar once occupying the spot where Abaddon's statue now looms. Pray for the Djinn. You bow in quiet reverence before the sacred figure, and a faint hum stirs the air. The statue's eyes ignite with a vivid blue light, and with a soft click, a hidden hatch opens at its base, revealing an ancient golden chalice nestled within. Gain 1 purifying relic. This is now our second purifying relic. We may discard 1 to reduce our corruption by 5 at any time. With the scarab gone, it's a new round. I have to mention a mistake I made. When I killed the cursed mummy here, he was standing on a chaos sigil. Any enemies defeated in a sigil will either gain 2 corruption or 2 soul. I believe Tuskhan was already at the top of his corruption with that, so he would gain 1 tainted action point. And when you gain a tainted action point, you reset your corruption. This is for the new round, and now he has a tainted action point. It is Tuskhan's turn. 1 action point, increase his corruption to 2, and gain 2 red dice this turn. And for his second action point, he will play Devourer of Life. Lose 1 health, gain a corruption, so he's at 3, and his health is at 55. Plus 1 for the aura, 8, 9, 11. And he's now less than 6 health, so he's completely defeated. He and Arydia will get a corruption blast. Power goes up to 2. He's going to skip the rest of his turn. He does not want to use the tainted action point. Arydia spends 1 action point to interact with the Viper Folk. You approach a pale, emaciated figure, its bones jutting sharply beneath scaly skin. With the last of its strength, it whispers, voice barely audible, "Please, help me and my brother." Gain quest card 3, The Brother's Plight. The Viper Folk's voice is thin, his breaths shallow, each word a struggle. "There's little time. They've taken my brother, deeper below. They want him to confess to dark magic. Lies, all of it. They say we steal life from others, but they're wrong. This sickness doesn't touch us. They've twisted our gift into a death sentence." He shudders, scales brittle under the strain. "Find my brother. He suffers now, tortured for a crime we didn't commit. We only want to be free, to escape this place and its cursed counselor. They bound me here, starved me, waiting for me to falter, to try to feed, as they claim, on another's vitality, to prove their lies." His gaze shifts to you, eyes clouded with desperation. "Please, find our family relic. An onyx amulet, the only treasure we hold from our mother. It has some map of the oasis, where we could hide. My brother knows prayers to Ardvi that will help you face the corruption. I beg of you, save him. Help us escape." Retrieve the onyx amulet, free the tortured brother. She will spend 1 action point. For her second action point, she will interact with the barrel. She gains a consumable, Oil of Evasion. In her last action point, she will interact with the last barrel, which is another consumable. And she's got a minor healing potion. They gain 2 equipment cards for the victory. The reward for clearing the room is 2 equipment cards, neither of which can be used, so that goes to the party stash. Tuskhan's Amulet of Power. He will spend 2 of his action points to move 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Arydia's Amulet of Power. She will spend 3 action points to move 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's a new round. Tuskhan has 5 corruption, Arydia 7. Tuskhan will spend 2 action points to move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Arydia will spend 1 action point to move 3. 1, 2, 3. Her second action point to open the door. You crack open the door, only to be met by a wave of acrid stench that turns your stomach. Inside, a once proud library lies in ruins, shelves buckling and furniture warped under a thick, corrosive slime that drips from every surface. 4 massive snakes slither across the floor. Their scales darken with a few bloody fissures. Their bodies are covered with the vile substance they regurgitate, splattering it in hissing pools that eat away at the wood and paper. As they writhe, their movements launch droplets of acid, leaving holes and crumbled remnants where they land. Fragile furniture. Whenever a combatant, hero or villain, is hit inside this room, remove all tokens, chests, tables, cabinets, and bookcases from the room that are in one of it. This is the public library. Tuskhan gets to go twice, followed by some dire snakes. Arydia, then a dire snake, and Arydia again, finished by dire snake. And a new combat does mean a new round, so increased corruption, but it's what you've all been waiting for. he's going to transform into his demon alter ego. That's my secret. I'm always angry. And there we have Gorgonus. He is a 2x2 figure. All combatants where a demon emerges are pushed into the closest adjacent space. Tuskhan will be a demon for 2 turns. Since he's going twice in a row, he will transform back into an elephant after his second turn. Each of his turns, he can use one of these special abilities for free. They do not cost an action point. He may do the same one for both turns, or he may choose both on subsequent turns. He is going to lose 8 health so that the next attack has plus X hits and deals plus 4 damage for each hit that exceeds the target's defense. So that 55 becomes 47. For 1 action point, he will play Cleave. He will move first, then deal 8 damage to 3 enemies in range 1. 1, 2, 3. That is 9 hits. So 8 plus 1 is 9. 11 plus 36 is 47. Divide that in half, and you have 2 dead snakes. He gains 2 Soul Blast, 2 power, up to 4. His second action point will be to move 1. And for the tainted action point, he'll gain 1 corruption. He's at 7, and interact with the books. You find a set of crumbling scrolls, alongside a few notes on newer parchment. Faded ink flows across the scrolls in an ancient script, with fresh markings in a sharp, hurried hand in the margins. We walk beneath Ardvi's watch, servants to the sick and keeper of healing knowledge. Through our star counselor, chosen among the 5 by the wisdom of those before us, we staved off the black fall, the pestilence that nearly wiped our kin from these sands. We must pass this knowledge forward. The script transitions into dense alchemical formulas, lined with sketches of robed figures, flasks, and vials in hand. In the margins, the newer notes interject. Their cure, purely alchemical? Could one reverse this knowledge? This golden sap, remedy, or myth? The annotations probe the text, circling and questioning each mention of the old plague. A signature in the same hurried handwriting shows the name of the book owner, Aruk. Make a Spirit 9 test. He does add 2 to his spirit roll. Interpreting the wisdom contained in these scrolls allows you a moment of clarity and connection with the past will of Ardvi. -2 corruption to each hero. Gorgonus' second turn, Amulet of Power. 1 action point to move. Second action point to interact with the treasure. Gains 1 consumable. He will get Potion of Power and discard Potion of Restoration. He will use Stalk the Prey. Run 6 towards the villain, and for each square moved, you deal 2 to the villain. Your ally does the same. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You can move through your own allies, just cannot end on that space. 8 spaces is a total of 16 damage. And his tainted action point brings him up to 6 corruption. I forgot to add an extra 2 corruption because he killed the dire snake inside the Chaos Sigil. He'll do Draining Bite. He's now at 9 corruption, dealing 4 damage. He will defeat him. They each get a Soul Burst. He's at 3, and she will gain 1 health, up to 21. Power goes to 5, and we will spend all 5 to reduce corruption by 4 and increase soul by 2. Same for her. She increases health by 2. And he's back to his normal self. Next is Arydia. She spends 1 action point to move, 1 action point to interact with the bookshelf. You find a set of scrolls. Their parchment worn and aged by decades. Thick black ink marks the text. When Adranus speaks, the council listens, for his sight is deep, and his wisdom is like the stars that guide our path. The words praise his insight. He sees beyond, into the hearts of both people and ideas. As you unroll further, the scrolls recount how distant sands and foreign courts were touched by Adranus' teachings, his medicines and methods, lifting our kin's name to legend beyond our dens. As plagues among others were stilled by his hand. In faded script at the bottom, a final line reads, "He has chosen one, young in years, yet ripe in promise, to carry the torch behind his own shadow. One whom, in secret to the 4 of us, he named as possibly the first whose intellect could compare to the first star. Make a Spirit 10 test. 50-50. You can feel as if someone is watching over you, his spirit connected with these very halls, his will soothing your souls. -1 to each hero. She is down to 1 corruption, he is down to 4. It's morphin time. And for her last action point, she plays Witch's Bolt. 2 corruption brings her up to 3, and she gets 2 hits. 1, 7, 9, 13. And for her last action, this doesn't cost an action point, she will deal 10 damage. And she gets to draw 1 card and regain 1 action point because she will kill this dire snake. Power increases to 1. She gets a Soul Blast up to 1. And with the action point she just got back, she will open the treasure chest and gains 1 item. Gains a lucky dagger. No one can equip it, so it goes to the party stash. 2 consumables for clearing the room. I will take the healing potion. It's Lilas's turn, the Amulet of Power. She will spend all 3 actions to move 9. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's a new round. She's at 4 corruption, and he is at 5 corruption. He will spend all 3 action points, gaining 1 corruption. He's at 6 to move 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now it's his amulet of power. He will spend 1 action to open the sanctuary door with the purifying relic they've obtained. You step into a sanctuary. At its center stands an ancient Ardvi altar, carved with intricate patterns of roots and petals, a place where returning a purifying relic will allow for safe rest. Around the room, low reading tables, crafted for the Viper folk's coiled forms, are scattered with worn scrolls and dusty tomes. Along the walls, cabinets hold carefully preserved works, books on alchemy, Viper folk history, and detailed studies of herbs and medicine. Pages describe the anatomy of their kind and many species, hinting at a long-held pursuit of knowledge and healing. Every surface bears signs of wear from years of constant use. Discard a purifying relic token and apply the campfire rest rules. If you have quest card 2, it's hard to create a cure. You achieve the second of 3 purifying relics placed in a sanctuary. Continue the campaign in Chapter 1, Section 3. Well, that will do it for this episode. We got to see our inner demon and create a lot of havoc. While this section of the dungeon was not more difficult than the previous one, I certainly noticed the attrition starting to rise. Thank you so much for tuning in. Day or night, sick or healthy, I'm Gambit, and I'll see you next time when I play quick.